soft power media, disinformation, you name it, sanctions, they're going to absolutely go crazy against Russia, especially with excerpts like this from his speech. Let me read you. It's about 3 paragraphs, and I think this is this is making like Ursula von der crazy, just absolutely go nuts, no doubt about it. Let's see here. Okay, let me repeat that the dictatorship of the Western elites targets all societies, including the citizens of Western countries themselves. This is a challenge to all. This complete renunciation of what it means to be human, the overthrow of faith and traditional values, and the suppression of freedom are coming to resemble a religion in reverse. Pure Satanism, exposing false messiahs. Jesus Christ said in the Sermon on the Mount, "By their fruits ye shall know them." These poisonous fruits are already obvious to people, and not only in our country, but also in all countries, including many people in the West itself. The world has entered a period of fundamental revolutionary transformation. New centers of power are emerging. They represent the majority of the international community. They are ready not only to declare their interests, but also to protect them. They see in multipolarity an opportunity to strengthen their sovereignty, which means gaining genuine freedom, historical prospects, and the right of their own independent, creative, and distinctive form of development to a harmonious process. As I have already said, we have many like-minded people in Europe and the United States, and we feel and see their support. An essentially emancipatory anti-colonial movement against unipolar hegemony is taking shape in the most diverse countries and societies. Its power will only grow with time. It is this force that will determine our future geopolitical reality. Friends, today we are fighting for a just and free path. First of all, for ourselves, for Russia, in order to leave dictate and despotism in the past. I am convinced that countries and peoples will understand that a policy based on the exceptionalism of whoever it may be and the suppression of those cultures and peoples is inherently criminal, and that we must close this shameful chapter. The ongoing collapse of Western hegemony is irreversible, and I repeat, things will never be the same. So that is just a brief excerpt from Putin's speech. I think an important excerpt, and I think you're not going to hear that type of excerpt being promoted, being talked about in the collective West mainstream media. They're definitely not going to take those 3-4 paragraphs and read them out to their viewers, listeners, and readers. But I thought this was an important part to the speech because it is Putin talking not only to the world outside of the collective West, but I think he's talking to many people in the collective West, many people that are tired of neoliberalism, tired of a unipolar world, tired of woke culture. They've just had enough, and so Putin is kind of expressing that global feeling. Anyway, Putin said a lot of things in his speech. He called out the collective West, specifically the U.S. and U.K., as being responsible for the Nord Stream pipeline sabotage. He did say that. He, what did he say? I think he said that those who benefit are the ones that did it. Something along those lines. He said those who benefit are the ones that did it. And Biden responded to Putin's assertion that it was the U.S. and the UK that sabotaged that pipeline. And now let me play you a short clip of what Biden said in response to Putin's speech, where he said that the U.S. and the UK were indeed behind the Nord Stream pipeline sabotage.
You also asked me earlier about the pipeline, and let me say this. It was a deliberate act of sabotage, and now the Russians are pumping out disinformation and lies. And at the appropriate moment when things calm down, we're going to be sending divers down to find out exactly what happened. We don't know that yet exactly, but we're not, just don't listen to what Putin is saying. What he's saying we know is not true.
In that video, you heard Biden say that Putin is not to be believed. Okay, he said that. He said Putin lies. He's not to be believed. But he didn't say in that video specifically that, number one, Russia did it. He doesn't say that. And he doesn't say that the United States did not do it. I thought that was a very interesting script that Biden read. Usually, when you have these types of events happen in history, and I've said this before, when you have these types of sabotage, false flag types of things that happen, the deep state, the White House, is very quick to blame the party that they want to frame up, right? Whether it's chemical weapons, whether it's WMD, whether it's MH17, whatever it is, they're very quick. Like within an hour or two, they say, we don't need evidence. They actually say that, we don't need evidence. We know who did this. They're at fault. We don't need an investigation. It's these guys. It's Assad, or it's Saddam, or it's Putin, or it's Gaddafi. We already know. In this case, we have everybody in the US government, everybody in the White House saying, we need an investigation. We really don't know who is behind this. We have no idea. I find this so fascinating. You have Bidenopoulos, Greece's favorite son, Joe Bidenopoulos. You have Bidenopoulos coming out and saying, Putin's a liar. Okay, fair enough. Don't believe Putin. Fair enough. But he doesn't come out and say the US did not do this. We have nothing to do with this. And he doesn't blame Russia. He says we need an investigation. They can't formulate a narrative. They're having a hard time trying to formulate a narrative around this sabotage that's going to be believable, because the entire world, the entire planet understands what happened. Everyone in the world knows exactly what happened. And the collective West, they just can't seem to figure out an angle to sell this. They simply can't figure out a way to sell this. So Elensky decided, as this speech was taking place and as these four regions were entering the Russian Federation, who it is hot, I'm telling you. Like, you get this cement right here with the sun, and it's just like, I feel like I'm cooking. You had Elensky come out, and he signed a document for the acceleration of Ukraine into NATO. Now, I'm going to put the video up on the screen. I'm going to, I don't need to turn down the sound. I'm going to put the video up on the screen, 15, 20 seconds, whatever it is. Take a look at it. Now, I need some expert help. I'm pretty good with Photoshop. I'm pretty good with editing tools and stuff like that, but I am nowhere near an expert level. Nowhere near. I know there's experts that are watching this video. Do you think that this staged event, because it is staged, this whole thing of Elensky signing this accelerated NATO accession for Ukraine, is this shot in front of a green screen? Because I've looked at this video. I don't see the flag. There's a flag right there behind Elensky over his right shoulder. It's not moving. No trees are really, no leaves on the trees or anything is moving. I don't know. just take a look at the video and let me know in your expert opinion if this is shot in front of a green screen.
Ми робимо свій визначальний крок, підписуючи заявку України на вступ у пришвидшеному порядку в НАТО.
So let me know in the comments down below. I'm very curious, very interested to read the comments. I'm starting to think it was in front of a green screen. That's what I'm starting to believe, but I don't know. I do see a little bit of pixelation, like it's a little bit pixelated, it seems, as well, but that could just be the video quality or something like that. So anyway, it doesn't change the news story. Let's go in here. The document was signed for Ukraine to rapidly enter NATO, and within a few hours of that signature, Ukraine got its answer. Stoltenberg came out and he said, NATO will support Ukraine, money, arms, weapons, but it is not getting into NATO. It's just not going to happen. Okay, let's walk back. Let's walk back and walk that way. So he got his answer. NATO is perfectly comfortable. They are perfectly fine, actually happy, ecstatic to send Ukraine as a proxy to fight Russia. Perfectly happy with that. No problem there. Just keep on sending. Tens of thousands of Ukrainian men and soon women to now fight the full force of the Russian army. The full force, because before you were looking at the Russian army, but you were also looking at the Donbass militia and the Wagner group and the Allied forces is what they were called. Now you're going to be looking at the Russian military, as well as the Wagner group. The Wagner guys are they're making a lot of headway towards Bakhmut, which no one is talking about, which is super important. The fact that they're taking Bakhmut, but everyone's focused on Krasny Liman. I do know that Elensky gave an order at all costs to, at first, to take Krasny Liman, and then he couldn't do that. And then he gave an order to encircle Krasny Liman by end of day yesterday, and he couldn't do that either. And we're talking about 6,000 Ukrainian soldiers up against only 500 Russian. So we're talking about this is like a real 300 type of scenario, you know. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, NATO snubbed Ukraine, plain and simple. They said you're not getting in. Sullivan, Jake the Snake Sullivan of the Clinton clan, the national security guy for the White House for Biden. He said that NATO's door is always open, but not right now for Ukraine. And Bidenopoulos, he also said that Ukraine eventually, one day, maybe will get into NATO, but not now. Not now. And so they completely snubbed Biden hours after he signed that agreement in front of what I believe is a green screen. Okay, so here is St. Anthony's right here. Let's go in. Let's check it out. It's cool. There's a guy selling all kinds of antiques. Very nice. All right. Yeah, 2 hours after Elensky signs NATO's acceleration, Ukraine's acceleration into NATO, the entire collective West completely turns him down. I don't know, I'm just thinking to myself, when are the people of Ukraine going to wake up? When are they going to wake up and see what's going on? Let me think here. Sikorsky took down his tweet where he said, "Thank you, USA." Why would you take down your tweet if you, or why would you be told to take down your tweet if you believe the US didn't do the sabotage of Nord Stream 1 and 2? You know what I mean? If his tweet was just, flippant or dumb or whatever, because there's no way that the United States would have, the Biden White House would have sabotaged those pipelines, why would Sikorsky take down that tweet? Why would he be forced? Why would he be told? Because I think he was told to take down that tweet. Why would he feel pressured and told to take down that tweet? That's just my assumption, but I believe that the forces that be said, "Dude, Sikorsky, take down that tweet." Why would you do that? Let's see. The U.S. approved a $12 billion package to Ukraine, more weapons, more money to Ukraine. At the same time that the U.S. Congress approves this package for Ukraine of $12 billion, you have the American people suffering in Florida from the terrible damage of Hurricane Ian. How's that for optics? American citizens could really use that $12 billion, especially the citizens of Florida and other states that are going to be affected by Hurricane Ian. But on that very same day, what is the U.S. Congress? What does the Senate do? They approve $12 billion to Ukraine. Interesting timing, interesting optics. Should I get into a clown world? Wrap up this video. Yeah, I think it's time for a clown world. I think we've covered quite a lot of ground and it is getting hot. It is getting hot. So let's talk about, let me see here. Let me see, where should I sit for this clown world? Actually, I've got two clown worlds. The first one is, the first one I can do as I'm walking. I don't need to sit and read. So the first clown world is Stoltenberg when he was giving his statement about Russia's annexation of these 4 regions. He was giving his speech, we'll never recognize the referenda, we'll never recognize these 4 regions, Putin is a dictator, Putin is evil, blah, blah, blah. As he was saying this, on Deutsche Welle, they were broadcasting his speech, Stoltenberg. And as he was speaking, Deutsche Welle, they say it was a technical glitch, right? Technical difficulties. But they cut over to Putin speaking to Russians at Red Square. From what I understand, something like 100,000, maybe even 180,000, I think I read, Russians flooded to the Red Square area, which is huge. And they listened to music, they celebrated, and Putin gave a speech. And as Putin was speaking, Deutsche Welle cut to Putin, and they interrupted Stoltenberg. And they say it was a technical glitch, it was by accident. But I want to get to the part of the speech that they actually cut into. 180,000 people took part in a rally concert, People's Choice, on Red Square. 180,000 people. Wow. Let me get to the part where they cut Stoltenberg off. So Stoltenberg was saying the illegal annexation of Ukraine territories does not change the nature of this war. And then it cuts away to Vladimir Putin. It was Russia that created modern Ukraine by transferring significant territories there. The Deutsche Welle announcer said, apparently a technical problems. Very, very strange technical problems indeed.
Победа! Победа будет за нами! Именно Россия создала современную Украину, передав туда значительные территории.
And there might be a technical problem there. A very strange
Спасибо.
coincidence.
Удачи!
We're just listening to.
How about that for timing? Stoltenberg is saying, we'll never accept the illegal annexation of these Ukraine territories. Vladimir Putin. Russia created modern Ukraine by transferring those territories to Ukraine. Oh boy. Let's do a final clown world and we'll wrap this video up. Let's see here. Let me pull it up because we have more sanctions. The EU, as I said, is furious. They're going to go sanction crazy because the first 7, now we're on 8. The 8 sanction packages have worked out oh so well for the European Union that now Ursula von der Crazy, she said, these sanctions, this 8th round of sanctions, these are going to really bite. These are going to bite. And I'm sure they're going to leave Russia's economy in tatters, in tatters. Russia's economy's in tatters. They're taking chips from dishwashers and they're putting them into fighter jets. It's in tatters, I tell you, and everyone in the European Parliament claps like a bunch of zombies. Yeah, tatters, tatters. Well, now Ursula is saying that that this 8th round of sanctions, this is the one. These are going to really bite. These sanctions are going to really, really bite. It's the 8th round, magic number 8. And in this 8th round, Van der Crazy, she is going to sanction Russian toilet paper. That's why these sanctions are going to really hurt, because she's going to stop the export of Russian toilet paper and other hygiene supplies to the European Union. Yep. Let's see here. EU to ban Russian toilet paper. Seeking to deprive Moscow of trade revenue over the conflict in Ukraine, the EU has proposed prohibiting the import of Russian-made hygienic products, from soap and shaving items to toilet paper and deodorant. The 8th wave of anti-Russian sanctions unveiled in Brussels on Wednesday would also ban the import of several steel products and attempt to impose a price cap on Russian oil. Quote, "We do not accept the sham referenda and any kind of annexation of Ukraine, and we are determined to make the Kremlin pay for this further escalation," Van der Crazy announced in Brussels. According to her, the proposed sanctions package is accepted to deprive Russia of an additional 7 billion euros or $6.7 billion in revenues. So whenever they say that this is going to cost Russia a certain amount, say X, this is going to cost Russia 7 billion euros in revenues, these sanctions, the cost to Europe, just multiply that by at a minimum 10, just 10x it. So if it's going to cost Russia 7 billion euros, this sanctioning of toilet paper and hygienic products, it's going to cost Europe 70 billion, 70 billion in lost trade and lost revenues. That's just a rule of thumb. Just multiply it by 10 and you're going to get the loss to Europe. And Russia, by the way, is probably thanking Van der Crazy, because now they can substitute Europe out for other partners, more reliable partners, right? Their products will find a home. Their products will find a home, no doubt about it. And they're going to be sold to other countries and other regions that appreciate doing business with Russia and are dependable partners. Oh boy, that is the clown world, everybody. I think I'm going to leave it there. Another hot day in Nicosia, Cyprus. theduran.locals.com. Check us out on Odyssey, BitChute, Rumble, and Telegram. Look for Alexander's channel. Look for the Duran's channel, and go to the Duran shop. 10% off. Use the code GOODDAY. I am signing out from Nicosia. Take care.